All right, here we go. Here we go. I thought this free agency stuff was supposed to start tomorrow at 6 o'clock. But clearly, teams and players have other agendas, other things on their mind. Because breaking today, we have 2 point guards gone off of our list. It is being reported that Kyrie Irving will be signing with the Brooklyn Nets, verbally committing tomorrow a 4-year deal worth $141 million. Kyrie to the Nets. You know, we've been hearing that smoke for a couple weeks now. No surprise. You know, I see a lot of guys in the chat say no surprise. Salute to my guys in the chat coming in here. Definitely no surprise on that. Kyrie going to Brooklyn. Local kid from New Jersey. Grew up a Nets fan. Looks like Kyrie's going to go play for his hometown team, you know, quote unquote. Also, Kemba, another hometown kid. Kemba Walker is on the move. He will be signing a 4-year, $141 million deal with the Boston Celtics, taking Kyrie's place. How you guys feel about that, man? How do you guys feel about that, man? You know, listen, I obviously, as two homegrown talents, I would have loved to have seen it. You know, I would have loved to have seen these guys in Knicks uniforms. You know, they chose to go another route. But I think my immediate reaction is, you know, the fact that we couldn't even get a meeting with these guys. I mean, what does that say to you? You know, the fact that we couldn't even get a meeting with these guys. I think that's the most disappointing thing to me, is how early these decisions were made. Yes, both the Celtics and the Nets are in positions to compete and go to the playoffs, and they have a much more ready team to do that. So in that regard, you know, you can't blame them. But, you know, I would have loved to have had a chance to speak to these guys, especially Kemba. But, you know, it is what it is, man. But that's the news for this Saturday. What do you guys think about it? Salute to everybody in my YouTube chat. My YouTube guys are in here. Salute to everybody on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you guys are watching from. I told you guys, man, once free agency kicks off, I'm coming live whenever I can. We got to talk about this. We got to get some reactions in here. So let's talk. And the phone lines are up. I'm only staying on for a couple minutes here and there, maybe about 20 minutes, but the phone lines are up. And the first person we're gonna go to is Scott from Jersey. Scott, how you feeling about this, man? What's your takes right now?
I mean, it's not looking great for us as Knicks fans. KD and Kawhi, I'm hearing now is picking up steam. I could still see KD coming for some reason, but that's not even what I want to talk about because it's still a long shot. Yeah, there's a bunch of players that we could sign. There's Tobias Harris, Nikola Vucevic, Julius Randle, DeAndre Jordan. There's a bunch of players. You could sign at decent deals. Try to get them 2-year deals with a third-team option. They could be trade bait later down the line for, you know, a player like Dame if he gets, you know, if he wants out of Portland. You know, give them and, you know, some draft picks or, you know, Kevin Knox or whoever. Yeah. But they will still be competitive around the young core. We can't tank this year. You know what I mean? No. Whether we got to put, you know, all those guys are dogs at the end of the day. Yeah. They're going to want to win. We can't let these kids keep forming bad habits and trying to create for themselves. They got to get used to the NBA game like how it actually is, not when you're getting smothered all the time. Yeah. So let these kids, you know, win 30 games. If they win 30 games, I'm proud. Shit. If R.J. Barrett scores 20 points a game and knocks 17, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? That's improvement over into the second year. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, R.J. Barrett's still supposed to be going into college this year at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? I hear that. He reclassed. So there's Knox is still 19. He's have to go into his second year. That's insane. Yeah, so I mean, listen, you made some good points. I'm not stressing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stressing, but I just, you know, not you. I'm telling the fans. Like, the fans are gonna cry tomorrow because LA is going to get their man. Clippers might be a really good team next year. They might surprise everybody.
Can't sleep on the Clippers. Like I said earlier, man, you got to respect Jerry West when he's sitting across from you at the table. Clearly, Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant are by even giving the Clippers a meeting. So he's got to be respected. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Fact. Kyrie already committing to Brooklyn, and Kevin Durant saying he's taking his time. That means a lot.
It means a lot. It means a lot, and I'm reading that
was a package this whole time.
Yeah, and I'm reading an article from Begley here. He says that several executives monitoring the Durant situation don't believe KD would be interested in being seen as someone who followed another player to a team. So take it for what you will. I don't know, but that means to me that we're still in the KD mix.
Oh, we're absolutely in the KD mix. If he's not following him to Brooklyn right away, everyone's in the mix.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Everyone, he can go to the Clippers. He can stay in Golden State though too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really. It's crazy. This is the weirdest one because no one knows.
No one knows, man. No one knows. And appreciate the call, Scott. I told my Twitter chat, I said I'm going live, man. We got to talk about this. Scott was like, yo, I'm calling up right away. So shout out to Scott, man, for being the first caller. We got a couple calls in the queue, so if you guys want to call in, give your reactions to this, definitely call in. I'm not going to stay on for too long, but, definitely want to recap with you guys. But, he made a good point. KD is still in play, even if this Kyrie news to Brooklyn shakes through. And I know CP the artist in the chat said, how is this happening before tomorrow? I mean, listen, these guys have been negotiating for a long time, and the reports are simply just reports. Nothing is confirmed, obviously. They typically word it like they're motivated towards a deal or they're confident that they'll reach a deal. So that's how they're wording it. But it's happening. It's happening. Kyrie's going to Brooklyn, and Kemba's going to Boston. Kemba's going to replace him in Boston. Kemba's going to replace him in Boston. So according to Woj, 4-year, $141 million deal. That's the most that either one can get with their respective teams. That is the max deal for a player that whose bird rights aren't retained by that team. So, hey, good luck to him. But yeah, I seen the Isola stuff. Isola wants to indicate that, the fact that Kemba and Kyrie didn't even give the Knicks a meeting. He's trying to insinuate that obviously it's a culture issue. Obviously it's a Dolan issue. I don't necessarily see it as a case. I just think, with Kyrie, it's probably that's his team. That's his childhood team. He wants to go play for them. And with Kemba and Kyrie, they want to go play in the playoffs. They want to contend now. They don't want to wait. Kyrie's clock is ticking. Kemba's clock is ticking. They want to be in the mix right now. And I think the KD thing, again, the KD injury, again, changed everything. Not to say that they would have definitely came and not to say that KD's definitely going to come. But I'm saying just in terms of taking a meeting with us, I think those are certainly factors. And we're going to talk about that with Moke Hamilton tomorrow, 6 p.m. at the kickoff of free agency. That's a free agency kickoff show. We'll talk to Moke Hamilton from The Athletic about it, get his thoughts on it, see what he's hearing. Moke is very much plugged into the beat. So we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. So I don't think it's that. And then on top of that, Tommy Beer kind of clapped back at the insinuation that, Isola was making about the Knicks. And he's saying, well, if they're getting a meeting with two of the best players in the sport, then it's not really an indication of the management of the culture. I think it's just these two guys wanted to play for ready-made teams right now. And these two teams are ready to compete in the playoffs. So I can't knock them for that. All right, let's see who else. Michael from Jersey, he says he's interested in D'Lo and some one-year deals. Michael, how you feeling, bro?
How you doing, my man?
Good.
Big fan, CP. I just wanted to touch on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't necessarily want D'Lo. I've heard you talk about that. And I'm not the biggest fan of bringing him in on a 4-year max, but I thought I don't think he'd accept it, but maybe we should, if we strike out, maybe we should consider, offering him a 2-year max or something. I doubt he'd accept it. But what I'm more interested is, I heard he was meeting with the Wolves. If that's the case, I want Teague and I want Dang and I want their first round pick, if possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know how the money would work out for that. But real quickly, I was just wondering, what do you want us to do if we do strike out, God forbid? What do you want us to do?
Well, here's the thing, and you make good points on D'Lo. And the first thing on D'Lo, he's got a competitive market, man. There's teams after him. You got to count on Phoenix is after him. The Pacers are after him. The Timberwolves are certainly after him. The Knicks are certainly interested. Who knows what? Maybe Dallas might be interested because we know they were interested in Kemba. So, I would. It's just all on the price. Obviously, I don't want to give this dude a max deal. But with the competition out there, you just might have to, and that's what I'm afraid of, because you still have to spend 90% of the cap. You still have to spend 90% of the cap. What I would try to do at this point, I'm still gonna try to give KD that money, and if they get lucky with Kawhi Leonard, obviously it's a long shot, it's a moonshot. Those would be my primary targets. Obviously, if that doesn't happen,
so you wouldn't sign another max player with KD.
If it's not Kawhi,
right? Jimmy Butler.
No. If it's not Kawhi Leonard, I wouldn't do it. I would try to go for cheaper, shorter deals. That would still make this team competitive, and to still hope that they get ready for that when KD does come back, they can be ready to make a playoff push. Like I said, I'm not out on D'Lo. It's just the price. How much are we willing to spend on this guy? I don't see him as a max player. I wouldn't give him a max contract. If we can get him on the cheap, sure. If we can get him on the cheap, sure. But if
would
not,
you give him max money for 2 years?
Yeah, probably.
And be ready for 2021.
Probably. Yeah. I'd probably give him max money for 2 years. I'd give it to him for 2 years.
Okay, and that's what I wanted the Knicks to maybe do. At least offer him that, give him the chance of staying in New York. Maybe he would consider it. I don't know, you know. But
Lakers are another team. They said Lakers are after him, so that's the thing. D'Lo's market is going to be very competitive, man. D'Lo's market is going to be very competitive, man. So let's see. It's still early. It's still early.
It's kind of frustrating as a fan to sit back and bite the bullet again. It's the right thing to do then, I guess.
I hear you, man. I'm in the same boat with you guys,
man. Thanks so much, Bubba.
Yeah, appreciate it, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm in the boat with you guys, man. Even though, we know we're not at that level yet. We're not necessarily ready yet to compete. Listen, we want to win. We want to win in free agency. We want to win games. We want to win everything, man. So it's still one of those things. You're like, damn, I wanted to be in it to win it. What do you guys in the chat think about what Michael was posing in terms of D'Lo? Would you be willing to offer him a full deal, a partial deal? What do you think about D'Lo? Easy Win says too expensive. I agree with that. He's going to be too expensive because there's so many teams after him. There's so many teams after D'Lo. Let's see who else is talking about D'Lo here. Mitchell Prince says he would love D'Lo. Okay. Gary Singh says someone's going to give D'Lo the max. I believe so. Payback Jackson, stop stressing. We getting KD. Eddie Suarez is definitely on the D'Lo bandwagon. Louis Lux says Nets fans talking trash. Yeah, they've been talking trash, man. Nets fans love Knicks fan TV. Believe it or not, man. We got a lot of Nets fans in here. And salute to everybody watching, man. We got over 400 people watching on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Please share these videos with your fellow Knicks fans. We need more people in here. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. with Moke Hamilton. Kick off a free agency. So let's kick it off. Tonight's kind of like the preview night, man. News is kind of slowly trickling in, and we got some other Knicks news that we're gonna talk about as well. So we got a lot of phone calls, so let's go get right to it. Bashir from Florida. He wants to talk about tanking next season. Bashir, you want to tank next season?
I want Knicks fans to be realistic, man. You're not going to get D'Lo an all-star player on a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Why don't you just let Dennis Smith Jr. develop?
That's my take.
Let's see what R.J. Barrett got. just let the young guys play. I mean, if I'm not saying tanking, but just let the young guys play and just sign 1-year deals.
Yeah.
I hear there's a 1-year deal going for Julius Randle, or maybe 2-year deal for Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I mean, he can get you to 35 wins, but you really don't want to go more than that.
I think here's the thing.
You don't want to be a mediocre team.
Here's the thing, Bashir. With the fact that you have to spend 90% of the cap, there's going to be somebody that they sign to a multi-year deal that you may or may not like. You're not all just going to get guys on 1 or 2 year deals. I don't think that's realistic. So you might have to pay Randall 3-4 years, or you might have to pay D'Lo 3-4 years. There's going to be somebody that they get on a multi-year deal that you may or may not like. To me, and I was just, Moke Hamilton on Twitter had posed that question. Yeah. He was on ESPN Radio this afternoon, and the host, Anita Marks, him and her were going back at it. She was saying, go ahead and tank, and he was saying, no. My thing is, the lottery this year showed us that don't tank. Yeah. Keep it competitive. There were 3 teams that jumped at least 6 spots in the lottery. The Pelicans had the 7th worst record in the league and got Zion. It pays to be competitive. We need to field a competitive team.
I understand what you're saying.
We need to field a competitive team. Fizdale needs to get the culture established, get the identity established, and we need to start charting ourselves on a course to be competitive. That's how I see it.
I think that culture starts with management. I mean, if you're giving out long-term deals to guys who aren't really going to make us level up to a championship level, I think that's what the organization's been talking about, being patient, and they're just not going to give long-term deals to second-tier, third-tier players.
Yeah.
I think your culture begins within. It's not about what's going on outside or the winning. It's really within how you run your business and how you do things.
Sure.
I think Steve Mills, I don't know about Steve Mills, but I'm a big fan of Scott Perry.
I'm a big fan of Scott Perry.
I just think that we just need to just develop the young guys.
I hear that. I hear that, man, and appreciate the call, Bashir. Appreciate it. You know, listen, I'm all for developing the young guys, but like I said, the money still has to be spent. You know, the money still has to be spent, and with that much money, you would think we're going to get a couple guys in here, maybe not, you know, the top targets, but some guys that could still help us win. Let's see. In other news, some of you guys might enjoy this. The Knicks have waived Lance Thomas. So there's one free agency domino to fall. If you're looking for silver linings, Lance is gone, but they are looking to potentially bring him back. If we did bring him back, I'm looking for a coaching spot. Give him Howard Isley spot if you want. But, you know, I like, Lance as a person, great teammate, whatever you want to say, but he's not the guy for us. You know, salute to him. He was a captain. They well respected around the league in the locker room. You know, grind from Brooklyn, local guy. But, you know, if they bring him back as a coach. That's about it, man. Bring him back as a coach. So Lance is gone. Now we're also hearing talks that from Shams that the Knicks are interested in bringing Robin Lopez back to back up Mitchell Robinson. What do you guys in the chat think about that? Leave a comment in the chat and let me know about it. You know, Rollo was here. He did his thing when he was here. I thought he was solid for us. We made the mistake of bringing in Noah at the expense of Rollo. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. You know, doesn't have it anymore, you know. Certainly coming down, but, you know, as a backup center, well, why not? I think he can be had on a veteran minimum deal. You know, on a backup deal, I think so. Listen, we need front court depth. We need front court depth. Everybody's not going to, you know, be a star at the 5, at the 4. We need guys that can come in and you know, spot some minutes for Mitch, because this is going to be Mitch's first year where his demand is going to be up, his minutes are going to be up. Can he stay durable? You know, can he stay durable with a guy at his build? I don't know. Now, there's some other guys that Ian Begley was referring to in terms of free agent targets. Let's go, Begley. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm going to get back to the phones, too. I'm going to just talk about this. So, Ian Begley says we're looking at James Ennis. Terry Rozier still in the mix. George Hill still in the mix. All right. You know, George Hill, Wayne Ellington. You know, Wayne Ellington was here. There's some three-point shooting. You know, I know you guys aren't enthused, but listen, These are some targets. These are some targets. Let's go to next up is Dave from Queens. Wants to give his take on free agency. Dave, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on? How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. How you feeling, bro?
Yo, check this out, man. I'm good. You know, I'm on the board right now reading what's going on, and I see all the Knicks fans are discouraged. And look, quite frankly, I'm just happy that the Knicks didn't get Kyrie, and I'm hoping that they won't get KD either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of the Knicks making the same mistakes that we always made for the last 20 years, and I really like the way that the Knicks are going right now. We're building up the nucleus of the team from the draft going up.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Yankees about 5 years ago, we had the same issue of just buying free agents or getting new guys from the farm, and now look at us now. We're actually championship contenders.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was a GM of the Knicks, I would really go after Kawhi first. If we don't get Kawhi, I would buy out a Joakim Noah's contract, because this is the last time we could do it without that killing us for the next 2 years on the cap. And then from there, just keep on building the team, and eventually we will get better with all these new guys we have, you know?
Well, I mean, I like your enthusiasm, Dave, but it doesn't work like baseball, though. That's the thing. You know, baseball, football is very easy to go from worst to first in a very short period of time based on how you build through the draft and based on the fact that there's very very little cap restrictions on how you spend. Football is a bit more. Baseball, there's basically none. You know, you're going to just pay luxury tax, but there's no salary cap. So baseball, you know, if James Dolan was the owner of the Mets fans would be much happier than they were right now. You know what I mean? Than they are right now. So it's a bit different. In basketball, just because you're building young doesn't mean anything. You know, Phoenix has always been building young. The Bucks are just now getting to respectability. They've been building young. Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets are just now kind of getting to that respectable stage. Teams are built in Charlotte. Look at what Kemba's been doing. Kemba's been in purgatory since he got in the league. So you still got to get lucky in your draft, and you still got to acquire the right pieces to, kind of mold that team. It's very hard in basketball, man. It's always been a top-heavy sport. So, that's just the difficult thing. Yes, I want to see RJ. I want to see DSJ and all these guys. And, next year's pick and so on and so forth. But it still may not mean anything in the grand scheme of things. So we just got to be careful with that. But I appreciate the enthusiasm. All right, next up, let's go to Mark from Queens. He wants to talk about how weird Kyrie Irving is. Mark, what up, man?
Yo, what's up, Knicks fan?
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling tonight, Mark? Sound off, man. We need to hear from you, man.
Yo, hold on. Listen. I'm so sick and tired of these Knicks fans saying, don't get KD. What are y'all not understanding what KD can do for us in future terms? Future terms. You already see you got this weirdo going to play in Brooklyn, and trust me, Brooklyn Nets, no one cares about y'all. At the end of the day, stop.
Thank you, bro.
Stop. Where are y'all going? Just because you got Kyrie. Where are y'all going?
Facts.
They ain't going nowhere.
Facts. You could argue. A lot of people argue, and he might mess up the chemistry that they had last year.
Bro, part of me tells me he went to Brooklyn because of what he did to Boston. And then if he came to the Knicks and if he did anything like that, we would kill him. And in the Nets, no one cares about that team. He don't care about that team. So he won't get beat up as much as he would if he signed to the Knicks. And
it was a low risk, low pressure move, man, that Kyrie wanted.
Yeah, it's like a diversion. It's like a diversion.
Mm-hmm.
And this talk about, if KD signed first to the Knicks, he'll be following KD. Idiot. If y'all both came as a package to the Knicks, we will both. We're not gonna separate you two. We're not like other teams. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna grab both of y'all together. It's not this is Curry team, this is KD team, this is the Knicks. You're here to play for us.
It's true.
And this people talk about let's go young. Do y'all realize we have Dennis Smith Jr. at point guard? What do y'all think he's gonna become?
Well, I mean, listen, I don't listen. I'm not expecting him to be all. I just want to see. If we're gonna continue this young path, let me see what we have in him first before I just cast him aside. That's all I'm saying. I'm not expecting crazy improvements. I just want to see.
Listen, I want to start winning games, right? To a team where we improve, right? Mm-hmm. What is so wrong to use up 30% of the cap and have it on KD and then wait next year and then still develop the kid?
Yeah.
Like, what is the difference?
What's your take? What's your take on D'Lo?
Listen, this is what I was thinking, and this because the point guard position, right? Because I don't like Dennis. I could care less. I would trade him for a second round pick. That's how much I don't like the kid, and I don't think he's going to be where people think he's going to be. I think what the Knicks should do, right? If they get into the room with KD, if that KD Kawhi thing really happened, if they both came to the Knicks together, I would do a sign and trade with D'Lo, because that's what the Knicks are going to do for him right now. I would do a sign and trade with D'Lo and have him as the third guy as a point guard, because when you look at the point guard field, there's no one better than D'Lo right out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Part of me don't think Kevin Durant want to play with Dennis Smith Jr. These guys are basketball players. They know who is good and who's not good and who complements their game. And D'Lo will complement their game because D'Lo is a high playmaker. Dennis Smith is not a playmaker, guys. He's not a playmaker. He's a two-guard masquerading in a one. Would y'all stop it?
Okay.
I can't believe people say, "Oh, Knox is going to be some all-star." No, he's not. He's going to be a bona fide good role player. The only person that I trust that has star potential in him is R.J. Barrett, because he's more polished. His game is more polished.
He's ready. He's more ready. He's more ready. I hear that, man.
Mitch got 2-3.
And appreciate the call, Mark. I just got to run through the call, so I'm not going to be on here long. But I hear that. I hear that. Listen, I'm not here to tell you that any of these kids are going to be future superstars. I just want to see. We haven't brought in we haven't re-signed a draft pick to a second contract since Charlie Ward. We eat our young way too much. It's very little patience that we have for our young guys and cultivating a team. Yes, DSJ struggled last year, but who's to say with an influx of talent that he can't improve his game? How many times did the Knicks miss open jumpers? How many times did the Knicks miss open jumpers? Is that Dennis Smith Jr.'s fault? The talent just wasn't up to par. So we need to see what an influx of talents can do to the overall team and everybody else's game. Took D'Angelo to his third year to be the guy that now people want. Now people want D'Angelo Russell. 2 years ago, everybody wanted to kick him out the league. Everybody wanted to kick him out the league. I'm not here to tell you DSJ is going to be the guy. I just want to see. Give me a chance to see. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see. Same thing with Frank. You know, if this year, if I don't see monumental changes from Frank, not monumental, but improvements, some aggressiveness, some confidence in his game, yeah, then it'll lead me to say, you know what, this guy's not it for us right now. I'm already leaning that way, but you know, it takes time, man. It takes, even with Frank, he's coming in 20 years old this year. It takes time. You know what I mean? Who else we got in the chat, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate the call, Mark. Appreciate it. Someone said we need J.Ellis. Yeah, this was just a quick live. I know J.Ellis was he's out and about. I know last night he was pretty spent, but we'll be back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern, like I said, with Moke Hamilton from The Athletic. The real kickoff. Myself, J.Ellis, Moke Hamilton, taking your phone calls once again. Tonight, I kind of just wanted to just get some instant reactions. I saw the vibe on Twitter and social media kind of heating up, so I want to get out there and you know, get you guys to get your points across. Let's take a look at this. Rich Kleiman, KD's agent, sat down with Steve Serby in a Q&A. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this right now. KD's mindset, he says he's got a great perspective on life, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What his makeup play in New York, his makeup will play in any city. He says KD's mentally stronger than anyone could have imagined. He's able to function at a high level. Okay. He'll be 32 before he gets back on the court. Why shouldn't teams be scared of that? Rich Kleiman says, I don't think it should be a thought. He'll work harder than anybody to get back. He'll be better than ever. This is what he does. Let's see if there's anything interesting in free agency talk. History doesn't tell us he'll be better than ever. Rich Kleiman's answer is everything he's done to this point. History never had a 6'10" point guard who can do what he did. So I expect nothing but 110%. Okay. Not much there. He says, when you wake up Sunday morning, will Kevin know what he's doing? He says, while I'm doing this interview, Kevin is completely undecided in figuring out what he wants to do. Now, Rich Kleiman says he's undecided. Let's see. He says KD will be there with his family and two of our closest confidants and friends. Well, they did say the Golden State GM and Steph Curry are coming to town and come see him. All right, some of these questions are just outright ridiculous, so I'm not even going to read them. Okay, all right, so let's see. Sum up what you would want for KD as far as a city and a team. He says, all I want for Kevin is for Kevin to be able to be in a place where he can continue to master his craft, where he can enjoy going to work, where he can play basketball at a high level, enjoy what he's doing. So many different narratives, so many different storylines that come into play. I understand why everybody gets caught up in it. At the end of the day, I'm focused on what my job is, and that is only mandate that is Kevin's manager and business partner, is to make sure that I'm able to help Kevin get to the place where he can achieve all those things. Where does winning fit in? He says winning is a major part of everything. That's why you do what you do. Winning brings upon a lot of fun, happiness as well, very intertwined. Okay. Why do you think there's so much trust between the two of you? What makes KD so marketable? You've been a Knicks fan most of your life, right? Rich Kleiman says, I've been a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks fan. I grew up in New York City, but I'm a fan of whatever team KD's on. My number one team in New York City is the Giants and St. John's. Big time Mets fan. All right. Didn't really get much from this. Didn't really get much from it. I don't really care about Rich Kleiman's background and stuff, honestly. All right, that was a waste of time. All right, let's go back to the phones. That was a waste of time. Jay from Carolina is up next. Wants to talk about Kyrie and KD. What's up, Jay?
Yo, what's going on? How you feeling tonight, man?
I'm chilling, bro.
Shout out all Knicks fans.
Yeah, man.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
When they said the Knicks and the Clippers was an opportunity for Kawhi and Durant to play together, those are the best two teams with the highest option to get both of them. I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe Kawhi and Leonard will play for the Clippers because I don't have them wanting to play for a Western Conference championship. I think their IQ level in their basketball game is thinking straight championship. The best thing to do is to be on the East to try to get to the championship. That's an easier road. It's a lot of stacked teams out there in the West.
That's what I would say.
Think about that. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't make no sense. What you want to do? Play on Christmas Day? That's all. That's what they're gonna look for, because that's what they have LA against LA. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad we ain't getting Kyrie. I want Kyrie to go where he's going, because Kyrie ain't never led nobody but Chris Webber, Shaquille O'Neal, Reggie Miller. If you get my drift, that's a movie. That's the only championship he ever led.
Yeah.
I still love Brockton as my favorite point guard. Even though I said about Rubio the other night,
mm-hmm.
I still love giving Brockton about 45 with a 45 2-year deal with a 1-year team option. I still like Brockton. If y'all remember, he padlocked Kyrie in that series. He shut that down all the way down.
He's a good two-way player, man.
Defense and run a team, huh?
He's a good two-way player. I like Brockton, man.
And the man shoots over 40% from the trade line.
Yeah.
So you're talking about what, 6'5" and 6'7" in the backcourt? That's a long wingspan with him and RJ.
Mm-hmm.
But D'Lo, I got D'Lo just playing this year to get that contract, man. I got him as a fluke, for real, for real. His all his games stepped up when old boy got hurt. When old boy got hurt, they weren't even talking about D-Lo.
You talking about LeVert?
At all.
LeVert.
They talking about the other dude. Huh?
When LeVert got hurt.
Yeah. That's when his stock really rose up. So I don't really want to mess with D-Lo.
Yeah.
But we could just get somebody like Brogdon, and like I said before, Morris. You know, that's a 1, and that's a 4 to go along with Mitch, go along with RJ, go along with Kevin Knox, and keep building our young situation. 6-man, come up the bench with my man from Arizona. Keep building our young youth, because we ain't trying to play for 3 years. We trying to play for 5 to 10 years. Them boys ain't nothing but 21, 19, 19, and 19.
Yeah.
Them 4 boys.
It's early for them.
2 more years in the league. They young.
Yeah.
Let them get some experience up under their belt. Get it going on. I got them coming up around 21. Year 21, I really look for us to really take off with our young squad, man.
Okay.
For real, for real. But, yo, y'all have a good weekend, man. I just wanted to drop that little one more quick thing.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Kevin, some of these guys might think about going back to Golden State. Because you know they talking about that the commissioner might bring back the games, drop them down to 65. If they drop them down to 65 or 70 games a year, that means some of the networks, they going to want some of that money back. So they better be thinking about that too.
Yeah. Okay. Man, appreciate the call, Jay.
Sign your line. No doubt.
Appreciate the call, man. Hey, listen, Jay's right. I mean, listen, if he goes back to Golden State, he's got $50 million more. So, and a better team, you know. I don't, like I said, I never saw the reason to leave that on the table, especially when he's trying to get into all these business ventures. He himself said it in an interview with Chris Haynes on Yahoo Sports. He said, number 1, he can't be recruited. And he said, number 2, his motivation is to get as much money as he can to stack. So it's not to say that, you know, $35 million a year is not enough money, but if his goal is to get the best contract that he can get, to me, it's staying in Golden State, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you, boy. If you guys are new to the chat, I see over 700 people in my YouTube chat. If you guys are new, leave a hashtag new so I can shout you guys out. Welcome you to the show. Make sure you guys are sharing these videos. Leave a comment in the chat. Where you guys from? Throw your cities in the chat as well. I like to see where in the world you guys are watching this show from, so I can shout you guys out as well. I see Who's Mark going off in the chat still. You got a lot to say. Mark, listen, man, I would love to talk to you all day, man, but I can't be on here for too long, so that's why I just want to run through the switchboard. Matt from Queens up next. He thinks KD is going to New York, similar to LeBron to LA. Matt, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, boss?
How you doing, bro?
So I just want to talk about how, so when LeBron was going to LA, the summer before he had left, like everybody's saying, LeBron to LA, done deal.
Mm-hmm.
But then during the season, you know, they were talking about, all right, Cleveland, what are they going to try and do and keep him? They made those trades, try and get help from LA, like those Nance, Clarkson, all those kids.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work, obviously. They were still the trash team they were, but LeBron carried them. And then right before free agency started, they're talking about maybe LeBron will check out Philly, maybe he'll go to Houston. But then in the end, he just chose LA like we all thought the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think we could be seeing a similar thing with KD, how, you know, last summer, everybody's talking about Knicks. Even like a few months ago, Knicks is a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
And now all these other teams are coming into the mix. Like, what can Golden State do to keep them? Brooklyn, LA Clippers. So I think we Knicks fans should be pretty confident that we're the favorites right now for him.
Well, I'm not confident because you just never know with KD, you know, and he has options like my guy from North Carolina said just before you. He could go back to Golden State. Why is that? That's not out of the realm of possibility. He could go to Brooklyn because Brooklyn just netted Kyrie. They're ready to go by the time he gets back. That'll be a nice little team. You know, the Clippers, I don't see the appeal, but like I said, Jerry West, you can't put it past him. You know, and they had an outstanding year this year, a scrappy, fought hard for Doc, you know. I guess if that's what if that's what you're into, I think it's between the Knicks and the Warriors. That's just what my gut is telling me. So we'll see. You know, maybe he wants to change the scenery, switch it up. He already has 2 rings. Does that, favor us? We'll see. We'll see, man. Shout out to Jumpman090. He's new. William Camacho Jr. Shout out to you. Suleiman Sarwar. Shout out to you, man. Shout out hashtag new. We got 710 people watching on YouTube worldwide. Lee Malik. What's going on, Lee? Tony Twist from the Boogie Down. What's going on? We got Los Angeles in here. Puerto Rico. William Camacho from Puerto Rico. We got Hoodie Colton watching from Maine. Stanford, Connecticut. Matthew, what's going on? Pittsburgh. Agent Super Argo. What up, man? Wayne calling from Jersey. Knicks Junkie. Albuquerque, New Mexico by way of Brooklyn. Shout out to KCB 160. He's new. We got Long Island in the buildings. What's going on, Brandon McNeely? APEAL 298. Hashtag new. What's going on, man? Wash Heights in the building. JR. What's going on, JR? We got Brick City. Rand's always in here. Shout out Rand. Malik Yates. Hashtag new. Salute to Malik. Yeah, we always got Puerto Rico in here, man. That's nice. It's nice to see. We got my man Alex Collins from Ireland. He's not on right now, but he checks in from that time and again. We got Australia's always heavy in here. Yeah, man. So a salute to you guys for checking in. Matthew Willer was in here early this morning. Early this morning. Shout out to Matthew T Money. Says he's new from Syracuse. What's going on? Shout out to my mods as well. Knicks Fan TV, Dave, TM. Appreciate it. All right, back to the phones. We got a couple more in the queue. Joe from Jersey, he thinks the Knicks will get KD and wants to pair him with Kawhi. How you doing, bro?
Oh, hi, what's up?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm feeling really good. About free agency, I'm feeling good. I like the Knicks' chances.
Okay.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. I was just waiting for you to make your point.
Yeah, I feel real good about the Knicks' chances this week. I feel like Durant's gonna make his decision during this week, not tomorrow. I feel like he's taking his time. He's gonna be independent about the decision. He's not gonna follow anybody. I feel like the Knicks are the favorite as of right now. In my personal opinion.
Okay.
That's what I feel like.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call, Joe. Hey, listen, man. I gotta like Joe's optimism. I think, listen, the fact that we're getting a meeting is a good thing. The fact that we're getting a meeting with Kawhi Leonard is a good thing. Do I expect Kawhi? No, because I think the Raptors have a lot more to offer. The Lakers, his hometown team, have a lot more to offer. I just don't see the Clippers thing being that real. I don't see why he would go to that team, try to put that team on his back when he already can go right to the finals with Toronto or right to the finals with the Lakers, you know. But like I said, we don't know anything about Kawhi Leonard and what he wants to do, so anything is possible. Like I said, we just want the meeting. We just want the meeting. That's all we want, man. Shout out to Eric Bellamy, H-Town. Shout out to H-Town, man. That's my home away from home. Got a lot of family and friends out in H-Town, so shout out to the H. For sure. Okay, couple more calls. Appreciate it, Joe. Jet from Massachusetts is up next. He says he's a Celtics fan, but he likes how Terry Rozier could fit with the Knicks. Jet, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, man? I love the show.
Thanks, bro.
I just
Thank
started
you.
watching today.
Okay, no doubt, man. Well, welcome to the channel, man.
So I've been watching Terry Rozier since we drafted him, and I just think in the last few years, is the last thing he needed was just like a starting role, and I think the Knicks would be perfect for that.
What you think about about his play this season? A lot of people say, you know, we're kind of down on his play this season. What did you see as a Celtics fan?
I watched most of the games. I watched most of the games this year. I honestly think it was a chemistry issue between the whole team, and I think Kyrie Irving has a lot to do with that. So I think if we look back at the playoffs before last year, and just how well he played in those playoffs, that could be a night in, night out basis. And I think you can sign him on a 2-3 year deal, and you could you don't have to be super committed to him long term. Give him the money he wants now, since the Knicks have a ton of cap space. And say the Durant thing doesn't work out, it's a good option. You know, he's a good starting point. He's a good starting point guard, I think, in this league.
Okay.
Especially for a young, hungry team like the Knicks.
Now, real quick, how you feel about the Kyrie and Kemba situation? How you feeling about that?
I think Kyrie's gone. Like as good as I don't know how true the Al Horford thing is though.
Well, they claim he wants to sign a multi-year deal somewhere else, but I mean they're saying that Kemba's pretty much done to Boston and Kyrie's pretty much done to the Nets. So I mean, how you feel about that as a Celtics fan?
I think good riddance with Kyrie, dude. Like all the stories you hear about him, like most of that stuff's got to have some truth to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like he just seems kind of like a cancer. Like it didn't work out in Cleveland. Like he wasn't a big fan of his teammates there, and they still won. And like the team was on him, and he completely blew it. They were better without him the year before.
Okay.
So I think the Nets. I think if the Nets, it's the same thing because it could happen again. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's their problem.
Wherever he signs.
That's their problem, man. Appreciate the call, Jet. Appreciate the call. Hey, listen, I like when fans of other teams come in and call in the show, show some respect to the show. So shout out to Jet. Definitely appreciate that love. I'm not that high on Terry Rozier. I don't think this team is built to really get his strengths to really get his strengths out there. I think if you were talking about bringing a healthy KD in and somebody else, and then maybe you can get Terry Rozier on a mid-level exception or a room exception or something like that as a defensive stopper off the bench, then okay, yeah. But now if you're gonna bring him into this point guard carousel that you have here with Dennis Smith Jr., with Frank, and you're gonna invest money into him. I don't think that's a good fit. I don't think that's a good fit. I don't see it. I'd rather just go with what we have if that's the case. I don't know. Our guys in the chat, we talk about it for the past couple of days about Terry Rozier, but I would just rather just go with what we have. He did show some signs. He did show some signs, and a couple sparks. But I don't know if is he a starter? Is he a backup? I'm not sure. All right, let's go to a couple more calls, and then I'm going to get out of here. Let's go to Ray from New York. He wants to talk about the KD and Kawhi pairing. Ray, what's going on, bro?
Hey, J.Ellis, what's up, man? How you doing?
CP, man. Nah. Ray, you got to call back, bro. You got to call back, man. You got to call back. You got to know who you're talking to, man. Listen, man, listen. It's no offense. There's no offense, but listen, if I'm taking the time out to know who's calling and to show you that respect, you got to do the same, man. You got to do the same, man. So we got to go to the next call. We got to skip Ray. Sorry, Ray. You got to get skipped, man. Let's go to Ron from Virginia. He wants to talk about free agency and the identity. Ron, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, bro, man? I just want to say thank you, man, for your hard work, man. You're doing a great job of that.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, bro.
Hey, so this is the deal. So, and I know this sounds unpopular and everything, but this is my take on the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Knicks fan. I love the Knicks, but we have no identity. When you have an identity, you know what type of players fit that identity.
Yeah.
Let's say if you're a three-point shooting team, then you find three-point shooters, you find defensive players, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we have no identity. So we're just picking random players and random picks or whatever of a hodgepodge of players that don't go together. If I was a Mexican restaurant, no offense to nobody, I would have Mexican employees, Mexican decor, Mexican identity, food. It all goes together. With the Knicks, there's no identity and nothing goes together.
Yeah.
Are we a defensive team? Are we a three-point team? Are we a running team? I know they say that we're young and athletic.
Mm-hmm.
We're young, we're not athletic, and we're not defensive. So it starts with identity. What is our identity? I can't figure it out to save my life.
Well, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, Ron. I agree with you, and I'm going to be keen to seeing what David Fizdale and his staff do in year 2 to kind of get us there. But it's a work in progress.
Okay. Yeah. But the other thing is, that why do we always need to go for the big fish? Why can't we get a serviceable point guard? I'm just using Terry Rozier as an example. Did R.J. Barrett, then Kevin Knox, did let's say Randall or whatever, or Tobias Harris or somebody like that, and then Willie Cauley-Stein as the 5. A good serviceable team where we got a mix of veterans and we can allow young players to grow. Why we always got to go for the big fish?
Because that's what you're in the business for. And appreciate the call, Ron. Appreciate the call. Salute to VA, man. I had some stomping ground to VA. Listen, you're in the business to win. When you have the money to spend it and you have these caliber players available, you got to go for it. Everybody should be clamoring to get meetings with these guys no matter what stage your team is in. This is a superstar league. Superstars win championships for the most part. All right, not every team is going to be Detroit Pistons, right? You know, a solid defensive team 1 through 5 that played together and had that great chemistry. I like that team. Shout out Rasheed Wallace. But you're in it to get the top dogs. You're in it to get the top dogs. You can still get, you know, you mentioned Willie Cauley-Stein, all these guys. They're still going to end up with those caliber players because they have to spend that money. You know what I mean? But you're in it to win it. In anything. You're in it. So you want the big dogs, man. You want the big dogs. You know, then when you can't get them, yeah, you have to continue building organically and not, mismanaging your assets, which the Knicks have done for the past 20 years. That's why we're here. Because we've been tying ourselves in knots for years. And when you do that, it takes years to recover. But then when you do it again, you set yourself back again. So it takes time. But thanks for the call, Ron. Thanks for the call. All right, let's go back to Ray, man. Ray, you back on, bro. But like I'm saying, Ray, man, you got to know who you're talking to, man. All right, now you said J.Ellis again. All right, now you clip. Now you clip, man. Now you clip. Now you clip. All right, let's go to Steve from the Bronx. He wants to talk about who the Knicks are targeting in free agency. Steve, what's up, bro?
Come on, man. They gotta put some respect on your name.
They gotta put some respect on the names. You gotta put some.
You gotta respect. The last couple of years.
Yeah. We gotta respect it. We gotta respect it, man. I come at y'all with respect. I try to understand who's calling every time.
We need an identity, man. What more of identity do you want than signing Kawhi and KD? You don't need no identity after that, man. You know, but CP, I want to talk real quick. I don't want to hear about Rozier, man. No. I don't want to hear this Rozier nonsense. No. We got Dennis Smith Jr. We got, I'd rather give Frank a shot than have Rozier come in here. For Rozier was just complaining about being a backup to Kyrie. How do you think he's gonna feel about being a backup to Dennis Smith Jr., man?
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not with it.
I gotta admit, man, I'm panicking, man. I'm ready to jump off the ledge, bro. I'm ready to jump off the ledge. If KD and Kawhi wait till Wednesday or Thursday to make a decision, most of these second-tier guys are gonna be off the boards. And we really might end up getting shut out and end up with nobody, man.
I don't disagree.
Want to hear about Jay.
I disagree with that because I think.
I don't want to hear about Ennis. Yeah. I don't want to hear about Ellington. I don't want to hear about none of them cats, man. We better off going young if we ain't going to get none of these big dogs, man. And real quick before I go, I want to know how you feel about Julius Randle, man. 23 years old. You know, we need a power forward. I know you're not crazy about him, but if we're going to miss out on the big fish, let's get a 4, and let's see what we could do for the next 2-3 years, man. Thanks for taking my call, brother.
Appreciate it, Steve. Appreciate it. I'm all for Julius Randle. We have a big hole at the 4. We need to address that. He's coming off of a great year, 52% shooting from the field. Versatile, on the offensive end. Obviously, his defense needs a bit of work. You know what I mean? But I'm all for Julius Randle, man. We're going to need somebody. So, listen, you can't expect the perfect player at every position. Guys are going to come in with holes. Guys are going to come in with deficiencies. And you're just going to have to accept it. But Julius Randle is a guy, I would take him. I would definitely take Julius Randle. What do you guys think in the chat about Julius Randle? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Steve said he's ready to jump. Steve, don't jump, man. We need you here, man. We need you here to talk. I had to bang the phone on Ron, man. Ron, you're a casualty, man. Listen, whether you're joking or not, I invest a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of money to make this channel run, to grow this channel. Part of that is knowing exactly who's calling and what you guys want to talk about. I think it brings a level of professionalism to the show. So I expect the same. You know what I mean? I expect the same. Yeah, we joke when it's due. But I expect that same protocol, man. That's just what it is, So call back again. Yeah, that was Ray. Matter of fact, not Ron. Ron had a good call. It was Ray. So listen, that's just what it is. It's nothing personal, but that's just what it is, man. All right, let's go to Derek from the Bronx. He wants to talk about KD's mentality going into free agency and his Rucker Park performance. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro, loud and clear.
Hello?
I can hear you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to talk about, KD's mentality. One thing that I noticed going into free agency is a lot of talk about KD's legacy, or the legacy that he's trying to create in conjunction to LeBron's legacy. One thing that I've noticed throughout KD's career when listening to the major media outlets is that KD's always second string to LeBron, and no matter at what point of their career there's always saying that LeBron is 1A and KD is 1B. Mm-hmm. And despite everything that he's accomplished with Golden State, I still feel like the sentiment is still the same. And I feel like, in my opinion, going to New York, like I don't care what anybody says outside of New York says. Winning in New York, you get to build your brand in so many different ways. Like New York is still a major player. A major player in the United States. There's so many business ventures that you could get into. There's so many things that you could do. Yeah. And just bringing a chip to New York. Remember when the Giants won the Super Bowl? How the city was in total jubilation. Just imagine the Knicks with it. I feel like that's going to be elevated 10 times even more. So yeah, I feel like this coming over here, bringing a chip to New York, will put them at equal pedestal with LeBron. And they would have the same amount of chips too. So the numbers, he would have the numbers game and the legacy game behind his back. And just yesterday, I was by 155th by the heights in Manhattan, mm-hmm. and I was walking by the Rucker Park. I didn't even realize that, but I immediately talk back to the game where he got 66 at the Rucker Park. Yeah, I'm a big numbers person. I'm a very superstitious person. So 777 is my my go-to lucky number. Okay. So just walking by the park, I was just curiously I opened up my YouTube app and I typed in KD at the Rucker Park, and I promise you not, you can look at it yourself. The first video there was 777. So okay. I use that as a good sign and a good omen for KD coming to New York. That's all I wanted to talk about. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the call, Derek. Thanks for the call, man. Yeah, listen, the number 7 is very symbolic in that regard. I definitely hear you. And listen, I hear your points on winning in New York is unlike winning anywhere else, but it's time for somebody to come and experience it. I'm tired of talking about it because we haven't had a guy in a long time. Carmelo, I guess, wanted it. It just wasn't the right fit. Carmelo wanted it, So we'll see, man. All right, back to the phones. Couple more calls, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Remember, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. kickoff of free agency. Moke Hamilton will join us from The Athletic and ESPN. J.Ellis will be back. We're going to kick it off. We're going to break more news if anything happens. Moke will share with us what he knows, if anything. And, we'll take some more calls. So we're going to take a couple more tonight, and then we're going to get out of here. Let me acknowledge the super chats that came in. Savage Reese says, PCP, thank you, Savage Reese, for the super chat. Robert Paris, thank you. He says, Kyrie didn't move the needle in Boston. Well, I think he needed a little bit more help. I think he needed a little bit more help. I think one of the things that happened to Kyrie in Boston was that, Tatum took a little bit of a step back. Hayward definitely took, not a step back, but he didn't really bounce back the way they had looked to him, when he came off of that gruesome foot injury. So I think that a couple things just didn't break right in Boston, but I hear that. Good luck to him in Brooklyn. That's their problem now. Above the rim, appreciate it. That's one of my mods. He says, winning in a chip in Toronto did not ring bells. Winning run in New York is all KD and Kawhi need. Don't feed into the BS. Clip him like Stephen A. Yeah, Stephen A's having a rough go this week, man. He's been all over the place. Michael Parker, my guy Michael Parker, number one fan of the show. He says, the only point guard I would make a serious run at is Brogdon, which would probably mean that DSA could be a casualty. I like the idea of Brogdon and Frank playing together. Yeah, that would be nice. Nice defensive tandem. We haven't had a strong defense on the perimeter in. God, I mean, who's the last best defender that we had on the perimeter that actually had longevity on this team? Man, I really don't know. I'm talking about like longevity, not like, flash in the pan defense like Frank or Shumpert or somebody, like, Derek Harper, Charlie Ward. We're a long time from them days, man. Long time from them days, man. All right, let's see, man. Daryl Nelson, another super chat. Thank you. He says, doing a good job keeping us informed. Thanks a lot, Daryl. I appreciate the accolades there. All right, 2 more calls, and then I'm going to go. Sammy from Upstate. What's good, Sammy? He wants to talk about the KD and Kawhi pairing. Sammy, how you feeling, bro?
How's it going? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, man. How you
killing
feeling?
it, as always. Listen, I have 2 things I quickly want to talk about. Quickly on the Brogdon, I think a lot of us are on the same page there. He's the only point guard left on the board.
Yeah.
Worth it. And,
bit of a combo, but I'd certainly take him for sure.
That cannot be stressed enough, the two-way side of his game.
Mm-hmm.
He, with a young team, could really come in and be the settling factor, out there, and maybe really be important. And, if you can't get him at a price that's worth, and mind you, they can match. You're going to have to overpay.
You're going to have to overpay
to make them not match.
Yep.
So, if you can't get him, none of these other guys interest me. I don't listen. New York, all the New York teams are famous for taking a guy who had one great playoff run and thinking he's going to be the savior of the city.
Jerome
James.
And
we don't need to do that, Rosier. Quickly about KD and KL's teaming up.
Mm-hmm.
The other caller just before me kind of went and stole a little of my thunder. I thought that the whole thing we've been hearing for the whole year leading up to this, it was not about money for KD. It was about legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It was about setting a legacy. It was about undoing the snake oil that he did going to a team that took him out of the playoffs and was an all-star team. It's about building your own legacy. So this is the way I look at it. And it makes sense that it would come down to the Clippers and the Knicks because you have a legacy in New York where you come into a city that is starving for – we have some great players across the board in all sports.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no number one athlete right now in New York. Judge is probably the closest thing we have to it. And he just doesn't
Saquon. How about Saquon? We got Saquon, man.
Saquon's
doing his thing. You must be you're probably a Jets fan.
But I do. No, I'm a massive Giants fan.
Okay, good.
I love Saquon, but I don't. He's so laid back and mild manner.
Mm-hmm.
I got mad respect. I'm just saying that there's a place for an athlete to come in here and blow up New York. So I see from that aspect of the legacy and what he could do here being, in my mind, that would be where I would want to go if I was him. But then look at it from this point, right? I've never really thought of it as he's trying to overdo King James's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought he was just trying to build his own. But if it is really about him versus James, then hell yeah, going to the Clippers makes the most sense. You go in and you take over the house that, albeit Kobe and all these other greats built, Staples Center, and the King plays in. And if you own that building at the end of the season, that's huge for KD.
Yeah.
So that could make it a really big selling point for those two. To get them both would be insane. I just don't know if that happens. You confused me a little because I've been listening to you every night, and I really thought that you were kind of not on the Julius Randle bandwagon.
No.
So,
he was in our top 10. No, yeah. He was in our top 10. What we were saying, what I said the first night was defensively, he leaves a lot to be desired, and I made fun of the fact that him and Canner were kind of going back and forth about, he took umbrage with what Canner said about
it is pretty funny,
Zion.
mind you. You put that stat on the window, his stat line,
Mm-hmm.
And the 45-point, his best game was against Cantor.
Was against Cantor.
It's kind of like
Cantor,
you got to throw that game out. You know, that don't count.
Absolutely, man, and appreciate the call as usual, Sammy. Sorry, I just got to run, man. Appreciate the call. But on the Randle topic, listen, we need a 4 badly. The things we need mostly is a power forward, front court depth, 3-point shooting, Michael Jordan reincarnated. We need everything. Bring back Dave DeBusschere. No, but in real talk though, we need a 4. We need front court depth. I think we could use a veteran point guard backup if we're not gonna, the 2 main targets are gone. That was the whole point of this video. Kawhi's gone. Kemba's gone. Kyrie's gone. So to me now, I'm looking at some veteran point guards. They said Brogdon is probably getting an offer sheet from the Bulls. The Suns are going to be after him. There's a big market for point guards this year. The Bulls might even go after Pat Beverly, they're saying. So I'm looking at Rubio. I'm looking at Rondo. I'm looking at who was another guy we were speaking of? George Hill, I guess. Those 3 guys from a veteran point guard standpoint. I would definitely take a look at that. So appreciate the call though, Sammy. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to everyone in the chat once again. I am going to sign off for tonight and come back tomorrow. Just have to get my outro music going. You know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody that came through, man. This was just an impromptu live stream. Just had to talk about and recap what happened today. So you had talks that Kawhi and KD are talking about playing together. Take it for what you will. But at the very least, we're getting meetings with the 2 of them. That's encouraging. The meetings with the Knicks maybe takes place tomorrow. We don't know. We'll have Moke Hamilton from The Athletic, ESPN, coming on tomorrow night, 6 p.m. kicking off. I see 800 people in the YouTube chat. Hit that thumbs up for your boy. Please support this show. That's how you support it. Share it on social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you do your social media stuff. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss tomorrow's show and future shows. Merchandise, Knicks Fan TV merch is in the video description. Hit that link below. If you want to join the Discord group and the Twitter DM group, share this video on Twitter with the hashtag PostGameNYK. And this show will also be available in audio format. Spotify, iTunes, you see it right there. Google Play, Stitcher as well. So once again, Kyrie Irving going to Brooklyn, Kemba Walker going to the Celtics, switching places, and Lance Thomas getting waived by the Knicks. We'll see if he comes back. Once again, man, thanks for everybody for coming through. Thanks for everybody for calling. Carlos Martinez, I see you. Gary Singh, what's going on? Turntable Gunman. Shells, thanks a lot, Shells. Ricky King, thanks a lot. TM, Dave, Above the Rim, all my mods in here. SS Television, thanks again. And yeah, man, see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.